Well, hello, darlings. I'm in a mad rush to get this out because it was due, what, 6, 7, 8 hours ago? But I had to get my beauty sleep, and I've been cleaning my house all day long, and I'm nowhere near done. I'm putting on some green socks now. This is my favorite color. I have so much to discuss with you before we do the Q&A, but before I do that, look. It's my Sebastian Soto, my besties t-shirt from his merch store. Love Sebastian. Sweet, sweet, sweet hearted gold tea channel. Sebastian Soto. Yes, darling. But before I get down to business, I want to show you all something. So, imagine my heart skipping a beat when I got a little message from my good friend, soulmate, Toxik Johnson, and he said, look, this reminded me of you. Boop. Well, first of all, the phone. This is my backup phone, kind of my business phone. That's why it's in that condition. But, well, they say imitation is the highest form of flattery. But first of all, I've sent him, who is that? What is that? Is that a TS? Is that a cisgender? I haven't received word yet. I'm quite sure that my beautiful and talented co-host, love of my life, Toxik Johnson, I'm quite sure he didn't do any content with that girl. I don't know how to feel about this. I'm the Countess Cherie. Who is that? The Baroness Marie? I don't know how I feel about it. It's obviously an imitator. I mean, she's got everything. She's got my hair on. She's got my gold rings. She's got my bra. I mean, she has my exact hair. I wear that hair sometimes. She's got my eye makeup. She just got her lips done, so I can tell. So they're a little puffy. I can see the stain on her white shirt through the filter. And I would never wear a necktie. I would never. That's just not something I would do. And she's wearing cheap hoop earrings. I'm wearing. So, I don't know how I feel, but now I know how Madonna feels with Lady Gaga and all the thoughts that came along after her. I don't know if she's an actual thought. She looks a little long in the tooth to be a thought, but she's definitely younger than me. She's got the same facial structure as me. Wow. Thanks, Toxic. So at the end of this broadcast, I'll be doing a comparison picture. Boop. So before I get started on my Q&A, I guess I got to comment on the tea. Now, I'm not bringing you the tea. I'm telling you my opinion of the tea. Everything that's going on. Oh, my God, I can barely read my writing. Well, I wrote in a pink pen. Trisha Paytas and the ring thing. I don't know. I don't know if the ring that she's sporting is... I don't know if her engagement ring is real. I know that Miss Paytas has plenty of money to where well, first of all, I'm sure she bought her own engagement ring. I bought my own wedding ring last year when I was married. My husband at the time put $20 into it. But, I mean, it was topaz. It was like a miniature. Remember the original, when Ben Affleck was engaged to J-Lo back in 2002, 2003, whenever that was? This was a knockoff of that. The topaz was real. Anyway, he put $20 in. She's got money. I just don't think... Well, first of all, I don't care. I don't know why y'all care. Let her live her life. Her career is kaput. And she's mentioned in this. Okay, so my Q&A. Well, first of all, you guys came with the questions. Not as many as last time, but maybe that's why I only gave it less than a week time to ask me. But I was just surprised that I didn't get nearly as many as last time. Y'all, the questions are interesting. They're not quite as personal as last time. I take that back. Actually, they are personal. There's one part in here, yes, I've seen it, and I'm going to respond to that tonight. Let's put Sebastian into the video. Hey, Sebastian. Hey, bestie. So let's get started. And I have to use a flashlight. I'm just kidding. I'm using my phone because I wrote in pink. It's really dark in here except for my spotlight. I don't like the light. Go to the light, Hillary. No, I'm not going to the light. I'm staying away from the light. That would be me. Cyan from Instagram says, my co-host on my Instagram podcast, do you believe in karma? I absolutely believe in karma. I know in my own experience, karma comes back like that. When I do something naughty or something I'm not supposed to do, it comes right back, and I pay for my sin, my crime right then. I know people get away with it, but I do think eventually everyone has their day of reckoning. Everyone. We all do. Jacob Lomax, who I will be interviewing tomorrow night at 11:59. I wanted to say 12 midnight, but then y'all might say that was Tuesday morning. So tomorrow at 11:59 on Instagram Live, I will be interviewing Mr. Jacob Lomax. I've waited for this a long time. That's his trailer for his channel at the beginning of this. No, he's not sponsoring me. I wish he would. Hey, Jacob. Get in touch. He's a good friend of mine. I've waited for this interview for a long time. Jacob Lomax from Instagram says, besides Jane Mansfield, who are your favorite sex symbols? And here's the thing, you guys. I wrote these down and I really didn't think about them at all. I promise. I swear. I didn't think about these. So this is... Oh, someone's texting me. Someone's texting me. So let me get back to this. Anyway, what I'm saying is that all of these are off the top of my head. So I hope I don't miss anything, because I love the sex symbols. And sometimes, you just forget some of your favorite ones. Obviously, Jane Mansfield is number one. I love an actress by the name of Angelian, who played Mae West in a TV movie and was on a show called It's a Living. She immediately comes to the forefront. Mamie Van Doren. I know I should say a redhead. I'm not really big into Rita Hayworth. Obviously, Nomi Malone, Elizabeth Berkley, and Gina from Showgirls. But I'm trying to think of that era. Jean Harlow. Love her. Marilyn. I don't really consider Marilyn a big sex symbol. Brigitte Bardot was interesting. Most of them are blonde that I love. Yeah. Dinah Doors. Of course, Farrah Fawcett, who looks just like my mom. It's so funny that most of them are blonde, but everyone in my family is blonde except for me. I'm the redhead, but that's just so interesting, I find. From that era, I'd like to have one redhead. God, I don't think it's going to happen. Joan Collins. Pamela Sue Martin, who was the original Fallon in Dynasty. Love her. And the actress who played Raven on The Edge of Night, which, by the way, does that opening music sound familiar? But the soap opera, The Edge of Night, the actress who played Raven, Sharon Gabot, I love her. She reminds me of me. Let's see. Forever from Instagram says, why make a YouTube channel when you could be a sex symbol? Well, what do you mean could be? I already am, darling. This is what I love to do. I love YouTube. I only watch YouTube. I don't even have television. I only watch YouTube. And I just think I have something to say. I'm trying to do more social issues. And I just love this. And the fact that I can I'm not saying I make a living from this, but I'm getting monetized to a degree. And hopefully it'll only go up. Because I have a message. And I want to be the first talk show host who happens to be a transgender female. Scott from Instagram says, least favorite YouTuber. Least favorite, probably Gabby Hanna. That's the first one that comes to mind. Don't see it, don't get it, don't understand it. Not my tea. West End Girl from YouTube, and I have to say, I love your avatar, West End Girls. Tracy Lords, I think it's from Crybaby. I love Tracy Lords, and I love her in that movie. I love her, period. West End Girl says, or asks, Gia or Janice? So I'm assuming the person means, as far as the supermodels go, Gia Karanji or Janice Dickinson, who were both around the same time. That's a good question, because I actually do love Janice Dickinson. I think she gets a raw deal, but there's no one like Gia. Tragic, Whenever you feel bad about yourself, whenever you're worried, think about Gia. And I could read that book, Thing of Beauty, over and over. Angelina Jolie got her start, big start, playing Gia. Lenny Kravitz or The Weeknd? Ooh. There's only one Lenny, baby. The Weeknd is an amazing, reasonable facsimile. That was mine and my boyfriend's theme song. The Hills. The hills have eyes. The hills have eyes. Yes, she does. Also asks James Charles or Trisha Paytas? Ooh. So let me go on record right now and say that yes, I have issues with Trisha Paytas. I have a lot of issues with her. I think she's narcissist. I think she needs help. But I will go on record and say I absolutely love her music. I really do. God, stop. You're Nirvana. I'm Madonna. Strike a pose. Iconic. And what's the other one? Superficial bitch. Love it. Love her music. James Charles. Don't like his makeup. Don't like his makeup aesthetic. I like the eye makeup that he sells through Morph, or that Morph sells with his name on it. Love that. Don't like him. Think he's boring. Don't see the appeal. Will say this. He's got a good body. When he did that runway show, though his body does not compare to Mr. Manny's. Manny MUA's. His body does not compare to Manny's. Ooh. If he was straight. So, I'll take Trisha over James, though. I don't like Trisha's. Y'all know my deal with her. Anyway. Charles Frank, the superstar, the YouTube superstar, Charles Frank. He asked me the craziest thing I ever did. Jesus, my heavens. God, there's so many. Oh, let me come back to that one. Favorite non-YouTube celebrity that I adore: Elizabeth Berkley, also known as Naomi Malone, Britney Spears, Madonna, love them. Of course, Jane Mansfield. I have a special place in my heart for Britney because I was there when she came up. I was the first person in Atlanta to do a Britney Spears number in a show, a drag show, Baby One More Time. I did not know it was a 16 at the time, 16-year-old girl. I thought it was like a Joan Jett type artist. So she has a special place in my heart and everything that she's been through. I've kind of been through something similar. Not really. I wasn't under conservatorship, but when my mom died, everything was left to me, but my sister controlled it. Do you see where I'm going with this? Yeah. Okay. The next question is, fave go-to meal. Taco Bell. Obviously McDonald's, but Taco Bell. I'm door dashing or grub hubbing them every day almost when I'm not broke. And then the craziest thing I ever did, I thought about this for a minute. Getting married. Yeah, getting married. It was my best friend. So it seemed right. Though in the back of my mind, I was kind of like, But wearing the outfit that I wore to the courthouse. You want to see it? This is what I wore. So this is my wedding catsuit. Yes, it's sheer. This is a knockoff of the Britney Spears rhinestone see-through sheer outfit from the Toxik video. I wanted gold. And of course I needed to have certain things covered up. But you should have seen them when I walked into the courthouse. We had it annulled. We did have it annulled. I had it annulled because it was over and he went back to his thought. And in case anything got really big with me, I wanted to make sure he couldn't come and get me. And I mean, I don't know why he would. I gave him all the videos we had of each other. Boop. This is going fun. Miss Gold Club, the love of my life, says, it's my good side. This is my good side. Who is your true love? Well, interestingly, it's definitely not my ex-husband, though I do miss him. The love of my life is, I have two. Toxik Johnson, I'm kidding. The love of my life is in Concord, North Carolina. He knows who he is. And we went through a lot together. And he is my true love. He is my only love. He's the one. But we are toxic together, so we can't be together. And my first love, Amir, who is also known as Anthony. Great love. Great love. Oh, God, just thinking about those two. Life goes on, though. Evil One from YouTube says, how do you feel knowing you stole your ex-roommate's boyfriend who was the love of her life? Okay, here we go. First of all, I never stole anyone's man in my life. I've never had to steal anyone's man. I get men no problem whatsoever. They were already broken up. They broke up when we lived together. He was not a ploy to get back at her. He was someone, I knew who he was before I knew who she was. The fact that we ended up living together was just a coincidence. I had admired him for quite some time, and they broke up while we were living together. He moved out, and then 3 months later, I moved out. There was nothing shady done. Nothing. Nothing shady was done, and we went out. We had a good time. I didn't steal him. We were not in a relationship. We dated. We had a good time for a couple weeks, and he's moved on, and I'm moving on. There's nothing shady there. If she feels that I stole him, that's something she has to deal with. The fact that it hurt her, well, guess what? That's just a benefit because she hurt me. But no, I didn't go out with him because of that, okay? And I'm a little upset right now because I just got a message from someone talking about my Instagram and YouTube interviews where I talked about my essay that happened with the police, saying that that wasn't true. And let me address this right now. And this has completely ruined my whole mood. Yes, it is true. Why would I make something like that up? You can ask friends of mine who I finally opened up to about this incident from 9-10 months ago. No, I don't talk about it a lot, but yes, it did happen to me. And I'm sorry if you think that the police are really good, wholesome people, but things like this do happen to transgendered people, you stupid bitch. How dare you come at me like that? How dare you come at me like that? I'm so upset right now. I need to calm down. It did happen to me. North Carolina is a good old boy state. This happened to me. I don't need the clout. I wouldn't put myself out there like that for that kind of clout. First of all, it's not really doing much anyway. I did it to help a young transsexual who was going through a hard time. You know, to let her know that I've been there. I understand. I had to be really, with certain information, I couldn't delve as much as I wanted to. Okay, I've calmed down some. That was a rant. This is why so many, I don't like the word victim, but this is why so many survivors don't like to come forward with a story because of things like this. But as I'm putting it out there and as I put myself out there like that, I have to expect that kind of thing. And it is what it is. Jesus. Let me just go on record and say that the person that's sending me these hateful messages that said that to me, I think is jealous because I had asked her to fill in for my co-host when I thought my co-host wasn't, or my host on my Instagram video, when I thought she wasn't going to make it, and then she did make it, and so she didn't get the host, and I think she's upset about that. She's just jealous. If you look back at some of the videos, she's been a guest person, a guest commentator in a couple of the Instagram videos, which I'm actually thinking about, brings me to one of the next questions. Where is it? Charles says, how is the Instagram podcast going? Well, I thought it was going okay for a while, and then Cyan and I did this humongous big me tell all about that traumatic experience incident, and all hell has broken loose now, and I'm not sure that I want to continue it on Instagram, at least not with her. Nothing personal, but I just think that if you question my sincerity, you shouldn't be on a podcast with me. And it's not really a podcast anyway, it's more just like a show. But I like the concept of it, but I think I'm just going to devote my time to YouTube and do things solo or with Toxik Johnson. And he and I have something in the works. So on to other things. X from Twitter, and X is a celebrity. If you don't believe me, you want to see who it is? He said, hey, love. And to X, I say, call me. never tell. Nadia from Instagram says, when did you start loving fur or start wearing fur? Gosh, the first one I ever bought that was real fur was probably 2008, 2009, and it was a floor-length Dynasty fur. I'm trying to think of what kind it was. It was beautiful. It was gray and white, and it was just something straight out of a soap opera. And I bought it for a few $1,000s and ended up selling it when I moved to Atlanta. I sold it for like 160. I remember that very well. But I love fur. What can I say? Let's see. That just completely ruined my mood. Haynes from Instagram says, how do you feel being compared to Trisha Paytas? Okay. I don't understand it. For those of you that don't know, whenever I do, this is another thing about Instagram, whenever I do my live feed on Instagram, I'm called slut, I'm called Satanist, I'm called, jugs, which I like. But they also say that I remind them of Trisha Paytas. I act like Trisha Paytas. What's it like to be the new Trisha Paytas? I have nothing in common with her. Like I say, I like her music. I have nothing in common with her. I have never gotten down on the floor and cried while eating a pepperoni pizza. I have not made up obscene stories. I'm going to say this. Everyone does a little bit of tweaking to their past. I've done it too, but not about something like that. Sometimes maybe you tweak. Like for me, I don't tell my real age. And you may look online and think you know my real age, but remember, I have 2 sisters, and I used to get in a lot of trouble when I was younger, and I would always give my sister's birthday. So, how old am I? So I tweak little things like that. But no, I don't have anything in common with her. I'm nothing like her. She's blonde, I'm redhead. I think the only thing we have in common, we both are very vain. But she's more along the lines of a narcissistic type of vain. I'm not narcissist. Bedazzled, love that name, from YouTube says, my last big purchase. Ooh. Well, probably all the merch. It's like $300, which wasn't really a big purchase. But you want to know, you want some real dollars. I guess technically my biggest last purchase was my Chanel purse, which I paid $1,500 for. And also staying at a really big fancy hotel a couple weeks ago. I paid a lot of money per night, and they got a big approval on my card, and I still haven't recovered from that. Anywho, it was worth it. Z-Man from Paytas, what is the fascination with fur? I guess it just goes back to soap operas that I grew up with. One Life to Live, Edge of Night, Loving. Everyone wore fur. Dynasty, Dallas, fur. I just love it. It represents something. And this person, his name also ends in Paytas. I would like to know, what should we do with it if we're not going to wear them? I like animals. OnlyFan says, from YouTube, says, have you ever done porn? Well, I'm the Countess Cherie. So a lot of you probably know I was a big webcammer, still am from time to time. And I had a foray into porn. I made one professional adult film, and I've done a handful of amateur since then. I don't really do it anymore, just because I just don't. I'm not ashamed of it, but it's certainly not something I would necessarily put on my resume. But it is what it is. It was a moment in time. I looked great. I don't particularly think I looked that great in the professional one, and it was lost for a long time, but it has since come to. Someone sent me a clip of it, and I don't like how I look at it at all. But yes, I have done it. I know I will not do it again. Anna, a.k.a. Steven, says, was Elizabeth Taylor bald? Well, we weren't besties, and we didn't have sorority or spend the night slumber parties or anything, but I do think that at one time she was going through something, cancer or something, and maybe she did shave her head, and then when it started growing back, she dyed it blonde, if I recall. Anna also says, who had the biggest in Hollywood? From what I understand, Elvis was very gifted. Cary Grant was extremely gifted. And Clark Gable, Elvis Presley, and Cary Grant, I think they were very gifted. As for today, no. I don't know for today. just back then. Let me say this. I actually had an encounter with someone, a celebrity, a very famous person, not necessarily an actor, but in Hollywood. And in my experience, there was nothing to write home about in that department. He was very attractive. But no, I can't say his name because of the monetization thing. I can't get sued. You won't get nothing but a fur coat. A couple more questions that just came in not too long ago. Let me find them. Okay, so Haynes said from YouTube on my community thing, Miss Hillary, do you think this is flattering footage of you? Because I definitely do not. And what he's referring to is Toxik really released some kind of playing around footage of he and I, outtakes, if you will, when we did our interviews a couple weeks ago at the Hotel Indigo. And I'm really on cloud nine. I'm seeing someone, I'm excited, and I'm showing off, and I'm saying a lot of things. And do I think it's flattering footage? I don't think it's unflattering. I think it captures a moment in time. I'm giddy when I'm in a relationship or starting to see someone or just really had good sex that had happened. And I was giddy. I was like a schoolgirl. This is on his other channel, Official Toxik Johnson, and I'll put a link to it. I think it's cute. It's him and I playing around. He's floating high, and I am bouncing off the walls just because I'm in lust. I'm in like. But I don't think it's unflattering. I don't think it's necessarily flattering. But it is what it is. I think it's fun. Miss Gold Club commented, do you think Toxik's jealous when you're talking about the guy you're in love with? Okay, so she's talking about the same video, and I'm going on and on about the guy who y'all think that I stole from my ex-roommate. Well, first of all, I'm not in love. Secondly, I was definitely in lust, and maybe still am. No, I don't think Toxik is jealous at all. I think that he was humored by me, and I think that he was concerned maybe for his friend who was maybe going a little fast and didn't want, as any brother would be concerned for their sister. Didn't want me to get hurt. No, I don't think he's jealous at all. I think he was humored by me, and yeah, we're friends. And finally, last but not least, Anna, also known as Steven from Snapchat, says, when will Joan Collins die? I hope never, because I want to make sure that there is someone out there who is older than me. Thanks, you guys, for tuning in. Sorry it went in a little different direction earlier. Know your truth. I know mine. Get your head checked if you think the police are good people. In the meantime, go out and get you some. I will.